For those of you who are just coming in, thank you so much for coming. I'm going to post in the chat. We are all just, thank you, Alex, for asking. We're doing small intros in the chat. I'm going to post this small prompt that Lillian put. So if y'all feel comfortable putting that in the chat, you can. But yes, we're starting in 2 minutes. All right, it is 4:10. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the music really quick. It is my playlist. I will put it in the chat so that y'all can go and follow it if you'd like. Oh yes, thank you, Natalie. So welcome everyone to our Lunar New Year celebration. Really quickly, we're gonna have the two amazing organizations that we have here introduce themselves and their representatives, and maybe a small description about what they're going to do with us today. Oh, thank you, Alex. But yes, would Epic like to start and introduce yourselves? Is that cool? Cool.
Yeah, hi, I'm Tanya. I am one of the outreach leads for Epic Movement, and basically Epic Movement is the Asian American branch of Cru. So we're an Asian American Christian fellowship on Cal Poly campus, but you don't have to be Asian American or Christian to be to join us in what we do. Yeah, we usually have large groups on Thursday nights, and we also have smaller communities where people can just get together and like hang out and develop closer friendships with one another. And today we're going to be teaching how to say Happy New Year in 3 different languages.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Would Dongali like to go and introduce yourselves?
Okay. Hi everyone. I'm Michelle, pronounced she, her, hers, and I'm the president of Tongari, which is a new club that we're trying to start. It's a club that's a Korean culture club, and we want to create a community that celebrates Korean culture, history, traditions, and we want to. Oh gosh.
Sorry, I missed.
I lost my train of thought. But yeah, we're a new club that's just getting started. And do we have to go give an overview of what we're going over?
Yeah, you can give like
Okay.
a few words.
Okay, sorry. Oh my gosh, my Siri just completely took me off track. But okay. Basically what we're going to be talking about is the way that Koreans celebrate Korean or Lunar New Year, which in Korean it's called Seolnar. And we're also going to have an interactive activity that involves 2 sheets of paper. So if you have any printer paper around you, that is perfect. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so if you all have not introduced yourselves yet in the chat, please feel free to. And we're going to have Epic go first with your session. I hope that y'all have co-host rights. Let me know if you need anything.
All right, sounds good. Let me just start sharing screen. Oh, wait, where'd it go? Are you all seeing the learning Happy New Year with Epic Slow? Okay, cool. So yeah, we did like a little Lunar New Year theme Google Slides presentation. And so yeah, as we introduced, we are Epic Movement and Asian American Christian Fellowship. So yeah, here are wonderful teachers for today. Thank you, you three, for graciously giving up your time to teach all of us how to say and also write Happy New Year in Korean, Chinese, and Japanese. So yeah, we have Junhyun Kim teaching Korean, Kyle Chan teaching Chinese, and Nicole teaching Japanese. I'll hand it off to June.
Awesome. Glad to be here. Let me go and start it off with teaching y'all how to say Happy New Year's in Korean. It looks a bit pretty long, but I'm going to break it down for y'all, right? So first off, we'll start off just by looking at how it's spelled out. So in Korean, Korean New Year or Happy New Year's is 새해 복 많이 받으세요. And I'll go and break it down in the next slide if you could go there. And I'll break it down to 4 steps. So if you could go to the next slide. So 새해, which is pronounced, I wrote in English down there too. It's 새해, which means New Year. Next slide. 복, which means luck. Next slide. 많이, which means many or a lot. Next slide. And the last part is 받으세요, which means to receive. So if we put this all together, if you could go to the next slide for me. It's 새해 복 많이 받으세요. And then it literally translates to please receive a lot of luck in your New Year's. But in Korean, it just means Happy New Year's. So in the next slide, I'll go ahead and teach y'all how to write it. I encourage y'all to use the annotation tools. You could write directly on the screen with me, or if you have a piece of paper or pen next to you, I encourage you to write it off there too. So let me go and get the annotation tool ready. What's cool about Korean is it kind of follows a similar format to English where it has a consonant and a vowel that kind of follows along. So the first part, I'm going to write 새해, which looks like this. The S, the sh, which looks like a little roof, makes the S noise, which is the consonant, followed by a vowel, which is the e, 세, and then I'll write the H part, he, which looks like a little circle with a hat on it. Makes that H noise, followed by the vowel, which is exactly the same like that. Next part is 복, which means luck. It's gonna look like a little box with ears. That's the best way I could explain it. It makes that B sound. Awesome. Love to see the engagement in the chat so far. Followed by a vowel, which looks like this, and makes that O sound. Followed by another consonant, which looks like a little 7, makes that G sound. So that's 복. And then the next part is 많이, which is a little confusing, but I'll break it down for y'all. So 많이 starts off with the vowel or consonant mium, which makes that M sound, followed by the vowel a, so that's ma right there, followed by a consonant in the bottom, nian, which looks like this, makes the N sound, followed by another hiet, which looks like the little circle with the hat. So all of that together sounds like man, and then I'll put the next part in, which is he. This looks like a little circle followed by a little line. So that's mani. And then the last part right down here is 받으세요. It's the same little piep, which is that square with little ears on it, followed by the vowel a, which looks like this, followed by a consonant, tiget, So that's pod right there. Next part is the ing, which makes the sound, followed by the pod right there, followed by the shield, which is that little roof-looking character, followed by the vowel or e. So far we have pod, se. Last part is the yo. So it's the ing, which is the circle, followed by the vowel yo. So all that together again, it sounds 새해 복 많이 받으세요. And that's Korean right there. Thank you all for participating. I'm loving it.
Awesome. Thank you, June. And if anyone wanted to take a picture within 3 seconds before I clear the board. All right, I'm clearing it. And then now we're going to move on to Chinese with Kyle.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Kyle. I'm part of Epic. I'm also one of the outreach leads. And today I'll be teaching us how to say Happy Chinese New Year. Happy New Year's in Chinese. And as you can see, in written, it's the same. There's two different main dialects that you would mostly hear in America. One of them is Mandarin, and the other one is Cantonese. I was born into a family that spoke predominantly Cantonese, but over time I learned Mandarin in school. So bear with me if my Mandarin is not as great. Yeah, but the way you can say it in Mandarin is 新年快乐. And in Cantonese, it's 新年快乐. Yeah, and we could move on to the next slide. All right, so there's only 4 characters, so writing is the same for both Cantonese and Mandarin, and I could walk us through it first. So the first one, 新, means new. Oops.
You should change the color of the.
Okay.
We can't see.
All right. How do we change the color? Oh, there it is. Okay. And this is the traditional way of how to write Happy Chinese New Year. There is a simplified way, but we can learn the traditional way first. Yes, and the second character is year. The third character technically means fast, but when you put it together with the final one, it means happiness. And I think Michelle is writing over there. I will write. Yep, thank you. And the last one, law. Yeah. I think there would be bonus points if you can actually do the pinyin, which is the English sounding out. But yeah. So once again, the four words are 新年快乐, 新年快乐, or in Mandarin, 新年快乐. Awesome. Fair question. Let me see. I have a question. What is Gong Hei Fa Choi? Then I grew up hearing it. Okay. So Gong Hei Fa Choi and all those other four character phrases that you hear are typically good sayings that you'll say to the elders or to each other. The one that you said in the chat, Gong Hei Fa Choi, it just means kind of like good luck to everyone during this time. There's other ones like Long Ma Jing San, which means kind of directly translates to hope you have a lot of energy in the new year, or Ho Ip Jumbo. So like that means to do well in school, in your studies, and kind of these are the things that people will say to each other to wish them good luck. Awesome, thank you very much. And I think we can move on next to Nicole.
Cool. Thank you, Kyle. Again, I'm just gonna clear the board. I didn't know if anyone wants to take a picture, but I'll leave it up for like 3 more seconds. Cool. Well, thank you, Kyle. Moving on to Japanese with Nicole.
Okay, so my name is Nicole, and I will be teaching you guys how to say Happy New Year in Japanese. So it is very long, and probably characters that you've literally never seen, but it is pretty easy if you like split it up, I guess. So the first part, on the first line, it says akemashite, and then the last line is omedetou gozaimasu. And this is the proper and formal way of saying it. So if you're saying this to your parents, your grandparents, or just like neighbors, you would say it properly like this, akemashite omedetou gozaimasu. Or if it's to a friend, you can just erase, let me just, like you can just not include this last part. And then you can say akemashite omedetou, which means the same thing. And on top of that, there's also a lot of younger generations say basically just these 4 letters, these 2, and then these 2, and it's easier to say it. It just says, you just say it like akeome, and it's just very informal. And so a lot of lazy people and young kids do this. So I can teach you how to write it. Okay, so okay. So you start with basically kind of like a box, like a rectangle, but before you finish and close the box, you want to include a line in between and then close up the box. And then like a slant, like a slightly curved line, and then another horizontal like line, and then all the way down. And then you want to like kind of have this little point, I guess, and then 2 lines in between. And so this is alone is I guess, in this whole thing. And then so the next letter is ke, which is like that. I don't really know how to describe it. There's a lot of curves, so it's hard. And then so that's ake, and then you would write 2 lines, and then it's kind of hard. So you'd go down, and then you make a loop and then finish. So that's ma. And then this next one's easy. It's like a backwards J. So it's like that, and that's she. And then the next one, you would write a line, another line like that, and then a little curve, and that's te. And then I'll just do the shortened version, not the informal version, so you don't have to write too much. And then that's akemashite, which means like to open or like congrats, and then, or to open into New Year. And then omedetou, which is gonna be hard as well. So another line, and then you would bring it down, but then you would have a curve and bring it all the way around. And then a little dot, a line right there. And then, And then the next one is, oh, no, wrong, is me, which is you do a slant, a curve like that. And then like you kind of, oh, that is not how you write it. Let me just undo that. Oh, there you go. Oh, I undid the whole thing. I don't know how to erase it, but I'll just write it real quick right now. Sorry guys, technical difficulties. Okay, so it's like that, and you want these up 2 points to be like kind of sticking out. And then you would do the same character as this one right here, but you would also add these 2 lines. So you would do this and then 2 lines, and that's de. And then another one like this. I don't know how to describe anything, but that's to. And then the last one is you do another like slant, and then like half a heart, half the heart, and that's u, and that's akemashite omedetou. Well, thanks guys for just giving me some encouragement with this. Really appreciate it. Okay, and then that's all, I guess.
Thanks, Nicole. Yeah, this is all super great. Thank you for all 3 of you for yeah, teaching us how to say Happy New Year in different languages. Again, I'm just gonna leave this up for like 3 seconds in case anyone wanted to take it. Cool. And now we're moving on to a quiz. So yeah, we're gonna do a kind of like very casual quiz, and then there will be little prizes that we'll also DM you all about. Sorry, let me just open this chat really quick because we're at 40. Yes, there is a quiz. Okay, so we're going to test you on basically how to write and say Happy New Year. So we're gonna start off with Korean. Oh, let me pull up participants list. So how we're gonna do this is that first person to like raise their hand when I ask the question, I will ask you to unmute and then you can say it. And then yeah, the teacher will give like the yes or no, and then we'll move on from there. Is everyone ready? No cheating. Yeah, no cheating. Okay, so first one, who can say Happy New Year in Korean? Oh, whoa. Jasmine, I believe you raised your hand first.
새해 복 많이 받으세요.
That's on point. I love it.
Yay! Okay, Jasmine, I will message you after. So good. Okay, now next one. Who can say Happy New Year in Japanese? Jasmine, are you raising your hand? Okay, never mind.
Well, I could if you want, but I'll let someone else go.
Anyone? Olivia.
I can if no one else can, but I
Go for it.
明けましておめでとうございます。
Wow, that's so perfect. So good.
Yes, okay, Olivia, we will message you after this. Okay, And for the last one, who can say Happy New Year in Chinese? Anyone? Come on, I'm sure someone knows how to say it. For sure, Amber, go for it.
新年快乐. Yeah.
How was that, Kyle?
I think my Wi-Fi lagged, but can you say it one more time?
Yeah. 新年快乐.
Woo! That was so good.
Awesome. Thank you, Amber. Yeah, I will also message you after. And now we're going to move on to the writing portion. So how this is going to go is that, yeah, we're going to do the same thing, like raise your hand, and then I'll ask you to annotate the screen. So yeah, who can write Happy New Year in Korean? No one? I guess to entice you all more, like the prize is that we're gonna, since in light of like Lunar New Year, it'll, oh, Chris, go for it.
All right, forgive me if I really butcher this. Oh, I need to annotate. Give me 1 second. Okay. It's like, this is a lot harder on a laptop.
You are doing great.
Oh. Oh, my bad. Wait, how do I undo? Oh, there we go. Oh my gosh. And we got the little hat. I'm not gonna lie, I have a little bit of a cheat sheet right in front of me.
That's okay. I mean, they told you to write it on paper, so that was your tip earlier. You're doing great, Chris.
And then, okay, I know there's a little man with the hat right here. I don't know if there's an order I should be doing this in. This is like, come on. Whew. All right. Hey, don't worry, everyone. I'm still not done.
You're doing fantastic.
Oops. And there's a man. Oops. Oh, let me just pretend that's a straight line. There you go. All right, I think I got it.
You're missing one more line somewhere.
Oh no!
Do you want to take a guess where it's at?
Give me 1 second.
You're almost there. Just one more line.
Swear I have. If I really did this to myself.
I'll give you a hint. It's in somewhere in here. One of these characters. There's one more line you're missing.
I took terrible notes. I feel like a student.
No worries, no worries. I'll go and draw in for you. It's this line right here, and it makes that yo sound.
Oh.
Yeah, but you almost had it. That was really good. Really impressed.
Low-key sweating over here.
Good job, Chris. Oh, you got like almost all of it correct, which is amazing. I know it's like super duper long. But yeah, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna clear this. I will message you after as well. Moving on. Who can write Happy New Year in Chinese? This is one of the shorter ones. And earlier when I was talking about the prize, we're in light of Lunar New Year, we're giving out red packets. So if that entices you. Alex, go for it.
If I don't follow stroke order, please don't murder me.
It's all good. Whatever gets the job done, it's all good.
Oh my gosh. It's been forever since I've written anything. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm broadcasting my anxiety out into the universe right now. Oh, that's a highlighter. Ooh. Is there a line and not a highlighter? Oh, you know what? Well, we'll just make it work. Okay.
Wait, Alex, I think if you click on the draw thing, it can make it thinner.
I feel
but
like
you're doing a good job. Never mind. You're fine. You're doing great. Good job.
we're like halfway in. So I mean, oh my gosh, I have so much anxiety.
You're doing great. You're doing great. Look, you're already 1/4 of the way there. That's like 25%.
I like hate anything public related. And so this is like my biggest fear.
But you're doing so great.
I'm like trying to talk through my anxiety. So if anyone would like to have a conversation while I do this, this would be greatly appreciated.
Alex, we love you.
Oh my gosh. My teacher would be so upset with my stroke order.
You're doing amazing, Brand.
It looks good though, regardless of stroke order.
Okay, my bad attempt of drawing this on the computer. Oh, and then ignore this because that was a bad first attempt. But yes, if you would like to.
Good job.
This, thank you.
That was good. That's technically simplified, but
yeah.
That's awesome.
I like drew the simple version because I didn't write it down the first time.
It's okay. That it works. It works. If you know, you know. So I'll give you it. That's good.
Thank you.
Thank you for being brave.
Awesome. Thank you, Alex. You did so well. Yeah, thank you so much. I will contact you after. I'm just gonna clear this. And then, okay, this one's the hard one. Who can write Happy New Year in Japanese? How about even like the shortened one?
I can try if nobody else wants to.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep, looks good to me.
Yay.
Yay,
Good
good job,
job.
Amber.
Thank you.
All right, thank you to the I guess 5 people because Amber did it twice, but yes, thank you to the 5 of you that did this. I will be DMing you after, but that's all we have to share for the 3 languages that we taught. I hope that you all learned something today, and yeah, thank you.
Alex, did you have a question or did you just forget to remove your hand raise?
I forgot to remove my hand, but
Okay, you're totally fine.
No worry, Nat. I will lower my hand for you.
Sorry. But yes, thank you so much, Epic, for teaching us that. That was pretty awesome. Like, I've never done anything like that. And I'm very impressed with everyone that was able to do that on their mouse pad thing, because I could never. But yes, Michelle, did you want to start and share your screen for the next presentation?
Yes, I will do that right now. Okay. Alrighty, so Korean New Year is, in Korean, it's called Seol날. It's kind of, I still find it difficult to pronounce because of like the L, like this part and then this part put together. But if you guys want to try pronouncing, if y'all want to try pronouncing it yourselves, go right ahead. It's Seol날, and it's the first day of the first month of the lunar calendar, and so every year obviously it's different, but this year it's February 12th, 2021, which is next Friday. And the celebration in Korea usually goes on for 3 days, so people celebrate the day before, the day of, and the day after, so it's a big thing. But I know some of us, we just celebrate like the regular like January 1st New Year. But yeah, in Korea, this is typically what is done. We also included like a little introduction of who we are because we did not realize that we were going to introduce ourselves before. But here's a little rundown of like our mission statement. So 동아리 actually means club in Korean, and shortened we call our club 달, which means moon in Korean. And then this is our Instagram if you want to follow that. We just launched it like a couple days ago, so yeah. All right, moving on to food.
Okay, hi, my name is Diane. I'm going to talk about the food that people usually eat on the new year. The first one we have, oh wait, do you want to go back? Is it just me or do you guys see the next slide?
Oh, shoot. I don't know hold on. Wait, how do I X
I
out of
think I just saw it on the bottom.
Oh. There we go.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so the first thing that you see on the left is called tteokguk. It literally just means rice soup, and basically it's like beef broth with rice cakes, and then on the top, usually it depends on family, like, or your preference, is usually beef, egg, seaweed, green onions. And it's usually accompanied by kimchi, of course, and I feel like it's like a good warm fix to the cold weather that it usually is on like February. And on the right, you see chun, which is a pancake. It's savory, and then you dip it in kind of like soy sauce. It can come in either like vegetables, meat, seafood, kimchi, and like tofu. Depends on your preference or your family's preference. And usually like you would see like kids kind of eating this as finger food. And yeah.
Yes. All right. Next slide for real now. Okay, so for customs and traditions, usually on Korean New Year's, we do like kind of like a ceremony of respect to our elders, but also to like bring luck into the new year. and that's called sebe. And so basically, you like you sit in front of your parents and or like elders or grandparents or anything, and you just bow to them and you say what we learned earlier in the epic presentation, which is 새해 복 많이 받으세요, and it's just to bring in a lot of luck for the new year. And basically when you do that, you wear a hanbok, which we're going to talk about later, and that's the Korean traditional clothing. And in return for doing that, kind of like with the red pouches or the red envelopes, we get sebeton in lucky pouches. Directly translated, it's called pokjumoni. And those are pictures of like the little pouches that we get. And a lot of the times, some of them are like coordinated to your hanbok, and it's just really cool. So yeah, we also get money on New Year's, although I don't. But yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about games. This is kind of like a traditional South Korean slap match game, originated from Japan, but it's very widely played in Korea today. It's called dakji, and we can actually make it today. I have this one made already. It's very quick to make, and I used 2 post-it notes of different colors. So if you have like post-it notes or if you have paper, you can kind of just cut it and then make it like 4x4 and kind of use that to make the dakji today, right now.
So we have like instructions that you can kind of follow along on. If you want to use printer paper or like notebook paper, it gets like this big. So yeah, let's get that tutorial started.
Okay, so basically you start with 2 sheets of paper, preferably 2 different colors, but it doesn't really matter. It has to be 4x4. So if you have anything that's like A4, which is like larger than a 4x4, you can just kind of fold the flaps to make it the square shape. I don't know if I should be waiting for people.
Yeah, well, we should follow like each step and
okay. So I'm already at step 4 because mine is already a square shape. But if you're not there, I'll wait for you.
I can like, kind of model the full size paper. So you start, oh my gosh, with the background, it's like impossible. But you start with like just a sheet of paper. And if you have like a rectangle, just notebook paper like I do, or printer paper, you just want to make like a triangle. So following this instruction, you want to make a triangle that goes down the middle of the paper. I don't know how to explain it, but like, you see. And then once you get that, you'll cut off the bottom portion. I just fold it off and rip it off. So I'll give you guys a couple seconds to do that. Oh my gosh, I wish I had square paper in this moment. If you use like 2 different colors of paper, it makes it like more pretty, I guess. And like most people do that just to make it look nice. Yeah, like Diane did. Okay. So if you're following along and you're done with those first 4 steps, go ahead and put your paper up in the screen so we can all see your creation. Or put up your square paper. Awesome. Okay, so once you rip that paper off, you're gonna unfold it. So your triangles, you go from triangles to a square. And then you'll do the square into 1/3. So you'll fold it 1/3 of the way up. All right, and then once you're done with that, hold your paper up. I feel like an elementary school teacher right now. Or if you have square paper also, just do the folding up 1/3 of the way. Awesome. Okay, so then I'm gonna move on from here. Is that all good with everyone? The next step is pretty simple as well. So you're gonna take the top portion of your 1/3 folded paper. Oh my gosh, look at it's like half. Anyway, you're gonna take the top portion of your paper and fold it down over the 1/3 portion that you already folded. So this is like the flap, right? And you're gonna fold the top part over it. Oh wait, I just realized I only have one piece of paper.
You should have two like these.
Yes. Diane, if you see them, you can move on to the next step.
Okay. So step number 6, you just basically fold the top and bottom corners to make them pointy, like that. Fun fact, I went to a Korean elementary school, so basically we would do this like during our break times. And we would like compete with each other and have like rankings. And we would have like pouches of just like a bunch of these. And when you're done with the first one, you do the second one exactly the same, like the same folds.
Oh shoot, sorry. Oh no, oh no, oh no. All right.
You can't fold the triangles the other way, it won't work. I like Dr. Hamachi's. They're cute.
Okay.
Okay, so then you're gonna overlap them like in the middle square kind of area you've got. And then you're gonna take the one in the back. You can use the paper clips if it helps you, but honestly, I would just take the back one and start folding it, and then fold the next one right next to it. Just take off my background.
Do I need to go to the next slide?
Up to you. But like that, I would fold the back one, and then the one right next to it, I would fold it down and then go around like that. Ooh.
Wow.
I see one.
Alexander already finished his.
You just tuck in the last one. And basically the goal of this game is to you would like lay it flat on the ground and you would hit your opponent and make sure it like your opponent's dakji would flip over. But then if it flips over twice so that like the same side is up, you would actually knock at the point. I think that's how it works.
Okay, sorry, I was taking forever to do mine. I got really into that, but let's see everyone's dakjis.
Should look like this.
They're so cute.
And I remember my classmates would just kind of like step on this to make it flat so that they won't lose.
Yeah. And then if you want to play this game,
You would
make
here.
another one so that you could like actually slap
You
it.
would do this, and basically you would hit it like that, and then try to flip it over like that.
Yeah.
I just got a point.
Yeah, and so you could play that with people. That's one of the games that people play on Sunday. So yeah, that is all for our interactive activity for now. So I mentioned hanboks earlier when we were talking about sepe. So we're gonna go into a little in-depth explanation of hanboks. I'm sure many of us may know already that hanboks are traditional Korean clothing. They're typically two pieces worn for like formal events. Now we only wear them for like not funerals, sorry, marriages and like actually funeral too. But for funerals it's black. And then for weddings, for New Year's, Seonal, for any type of event like that, there are a lot of like more modernized hanboks as well, and so that's pretty cool. And there used to be very many different kinds of hanboks. So back then, there was royal hanboks, so royal attire, and there was certain like dress codes for certain officials, and there's civilian hanboks, and there's also now currently there's wedding hanboks, and there are um, modern hanboks. So hanboks that you can kind of wear like in normal life as well.
If you are a fan of Blackpink, you might see that one of their stages were actually reforms of like hanbok. If you just search up like Blackpink hanbok, you'll probably find it. It's pretty cute.
Yeah, because they like modernize the hanbok and it's very beautiful. So yeah, here are a couple of visuals. So on this side with the blue and the red, those are typically royal hanboks. So this blue hanbok for a male or male identifying person would be one for princes. So the silver little, I don't know what to describe that as, but the silver embroidery, I guess. It's very royal, and then there's like the bottom part. I actually have a hanbok that looks kind of exactly like this that I will show you guys in a minute. And then there's the hanboks that most civilians would wear, so just normal like normal people basically that aren't part of the royal family. And then now recently there are a lot of kind of more modernized hanboks, and this is a bridal hanbok. So a lot of Korean brides will wear hanboks to their wedding or for a portion of their wedding, and that's just an example of it. And then we also have our lovely board members wearing hanboks. So here's June wearing his hanbok in a hanbok store. There's Diane. Diane, if you want to talk about your experience renting hanboks in Korea, that'd be cool.
So because like if you go to Seoul, it's like a big tourist spot now, so you can actually rent your hanbok for like an hour or two for like $10, $20, and then you can just kind of roam around like these older kind of structures, buildings, and you can just take pictures. You'll probably see like on Instagram a lot of girls have like the same scenery, same clothes, and that's why. But yeah, it's a good tourist spot.
Yeah, and then there's also another picture of June because we love it. All right, and so now for the last part of this, I will be sharing actual hanboks that I own. So
Michelle, I'm not sure if we can hear you. I think you might be muted. I'm so sorry.
Okay, can you hear me now? Awesome. Okay, I think it's just because I took my earbuds out. But anyway, I'll start with this, I guess. So this is like a replica of the royal humbook. So you can see a lot of like intricate gold, like, oh wait, you can't really see it. Let me turn off my background. How do I turn it? Oh, okay. All right, there we go. So, hold up. Oh my gosh. Wow, technical difficulties. Okay, there we go. So, this is the replica of the royal humbook. There's like this very cool little embroidery on it, and there's a lot of gold. On the bottom part, there's like these gold details. And so you would usually tie it in the front like this, and there's also another tie on the bottom. If you watch a lot of Korean dramas and like historical Korean dramas, you may see like they always put their hands under this. I'm not really sure why, but yeah. And then there's also a regular kind of more, I guess what most people would wear, like an example of that. It's like very colorful, and there's also a bow or like ribbons on the bottom to kind of tie it and put it together. Usually there's an underskirt, so this is like a separate part of it, and then this top part is like worn over it, obviously, and yeah. So those are just examples of two different humbooks. I will go ahead and put that back. But yes, that is, or I'll stop my screen share actually, that will help. Okay, yeah, so that is kind of a recap of everything for Korean New Year. We wear hanboks, we eat good food, and yeah, I think that's pretty much all.
Michelle, there's a question in the chat for y'all from Lillian.
The whole time. So, how do y'all feel about non-Korean people wearing this traditional clothing? Well, I think it's there's a fine line between cultural appreciation and cultural appropriation. Usually, if people know the history and the significance behind Korean hanboks, I think it's perfectly fine for people to wear them. I think it's meant to be like we want to share our culture, and when people visit Korea and learn about the culture and they want to take pictures in hanboks and spread that around, knowing what it signifies and what like it means in our culture, I think that's a very amazing thing. And obviously with the spread of Korean culture through K-pop and K-dramas, like that's become a lot more common. And so people have had generally a lot more respect for our culture. And so I think in some ways it can be a good thing. Obviously, when it comes to cultural appropriation, like that's obviously a no-no. And I think we all know that. It's as long as we're making sure that like if you're wearing hanboks and you respect the culture behind it, I think that's 100% okay. All right, that's all we have.
Thank you so much
for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much for presenting. That was amazing. And we're so glad that we got to learn from you, your presentation. So right now for the last like half an hour / like 20 minutes we have left, we're gonna put you all into breakout rooms. Because this is a celebration, we wanted to like ask you all questions and have you discuss with each other like what Lunar New Year has meant to you all in any way that you've seen it or celebrated it. And I will post all of those questions in the chat. Oh, people are leaving because of breakout rooms. I see how it is. But I am going to start those now, and then I'll post the questions I'll post the questions in the chat first. And then I'll break you all into breakout rooms. Perfect.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you both so much. You did such a great job. Like I literally I had to learn how to write Happy New Year, but Gong Hei Fat Choi when I was in elementary school at a white school, and white people taught me how to write it, and that doesn't count, but this does. So thank you.
Wait, where are you from?
I'm from Oakland.
Oh, I'm from San Francisco. That's interesting.
Yeah, I went to a Catholic school growing up, and there were some Chinese people, and then a Chinese mom hosted an event, but then the white teachers taught us how to write it, so it was very interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting because Cantonese is not the dominant language among the world. Obviously, Mandarin is more prevalent because it's also the government language. But in San Francisco, majority of times you would actually hear somebody who speaks Cantonese. So it's a little bit more prevalent in the Bay, maybe due to geographic proximity to Hong Kong. But yeah.
Great. Okay, well, Capriel put some questions in the chat if y'all want to talk about them. And the first one is, what has your experience been with Lunar New Year before? Anybody else want to start off with that question?
I could go first. Can I tell you with the next question too, because that's how I kind of experienced it. Is that fine? Yeah, I mean, for me, I think celebrating Seollal, which is what we just kind of talked about in the previous room, it's been really cool for me, especially since I came to the States at a very young age. I was born in Korea, and I think just kind of celebrating those traditions been like a core foundation for me to kind of connect back to my roots. So I think that's just been a really cool part. And kind of tying into the next question, I think for me, a lot of my family members actually live in Korea. And for me, it's just my immediate family that's here in the US. So I've been celebrating with just family, friends, a lot in the church, I think. Yeah, a lot in the Korean church at least. And that's just been a really cool experience. It's almost like a second family for me. We just kind of gather together and just kind of experience or share this experience together, which I think is really cool. Yeah.
Thank you. Does anybody else want to share their experience?
I can share mine. My name's Christina. It's you guys all have done a really great job. I'm really impressed with you all. So thank you. Yeah, for me, I think I'm similar in that it's definitely a way to reconnect with just cultural roots. I'm Chinese American, kind of second or third generation, depending on what side of my family. And celebrating Chinese New Year has always just been really great quality family time. And I don't think I appreciated it as much until I came to San Luis Obispo and Cal Poly, where I didn't really have any Asian friends and didn't really get to celebrate that piece here as much. I didn't get plugged in with like the CSA or some of the other cultural clubs when I was a student. So yeah, I really appreciate just getting to have that piece of my culture.
Thank you.
Yeah, kind of like June, first and second question kind of apply as well. And I think I come from, even like in San Francisco, we're very diverse, and the culture there is very different from SLO. But even so, like my upbringing was a little bit different too, because I went to a Chinese immersion kindergarten through 8th grade school. So kind of like Lunar New Year's and like the Chinese holidays was all I ever knew. Even though I lived in a very Americanized upbringing as well, but that was also what I knew. So it was kind of like it goes hand in hand. Life goes hand in hand because I grew up going around to family, being able to see my extended family, and wishing them Happy New Year's and whatnot. And also, it's kind of nice to get red envelopes. You get that bag. Yeah, I feel like Christine. I don't know if you got money during this time, but if you didn't get money in Christmas, if you didn't get money on New Year's, you certainly got a Chinese New Year's. You get that back.
Yeah.
You secured that back. You gotta be nice then. Yeah, so it's just like a really nice time, especially. I don't know. I just think I take a lot of pride in being Chinese, and I think the people I grew up with a lot of people who took pride in being Chinese around me too. So I think I was very blessed and fortunate in that regards.
Oh my gosh, my mom's calling. But thank you all for sharing. I'm Filipino, so I never really grew up like celebrating it in my own culture, but because I'm from the Bay Area, I would go to like the Chinese New Year parade in San Francisco a lot, which definitely like did not accurately represent anything. But then like my dad, he works at a bank, and a lot of his coworkers were Chinese, so they would always like give me the red envelopes growing up, and I thought it was really cool. And it wasn't until I was like older I got to learn more about like it was more than like the red envelopes and then like the animals and stuff like that. But I think it's pretty awesome. Yeah. Any more questions? Or the rest of
Natalie, can I ask,
Yeah.
in Filipino culture, do you guys do anything for, like, do you have a similar like Lunar New Year or other New Year's?
I'm not 100% sure because my family's Catholic, so like we've always kind of celebrated like the regular like January 1st New Year, and like
Yeah, totally.
very Americanized like lifestyle too with my parents, at least because they grew up like in areas that were on American bases because of like the US colonialism out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I never really had any big things like that, but it was very similar, at least like for those holidays too. My family's really like, we follow a lot of like the Filipino traditions during those times and like eat the food and stuff, but it's nothing like specific to Lunar New Year. So it's really awesome learning about all these things.
Cool, thank you.
Of course. Do any of you all have like favorite traditions you usually do during Lunar New Year? I know when I talk to people, everyone said like the food and the money, and like I'm sure there's more other things too. If any of you want to share those things.
I can go. For Chinese people, there's kind of Lunar New Year's dinner, where like the night before the New Year's Day, and then it's kind of a series of couple days, honestly, and that's like a big feast that you go to, and that's something that you just look forward to, really good food during this time. And also when you kind of like go over to other people's houses and wish them good wishes during Chinese New Year, there's always like this platter of like candies and stuff that you can eat, and I grew up eating those, and so that was always a good memory.
Yeah, for me, I think my favorite memory is kind of going off of what Michelle was saying about Dokuk. There's a little kind of history behind it. Uh, the idea is if you eat one bowl, you'll gain like another year to your age. So I remember, I want to be the older person in the room. So I ate like what 5 bowls, and my parents always joked, "Oh, you're older than your friend here who's like a couple years older than you." So I always thought that was really cool and kind of funny. And it's just I'm eating a lot, and I guess I'm gaining the age too. So I love that about just the Tokuk aspect. Yeah.
That was super cute. I saw when you commented that in the chat, and I was like, "Wow, that's cool." Like that makes sense because I feel like it's cool how a lot of Asian cultures connect like food to like life and stuff with like the noodles with like long life and all of that. And I think it's pretty interesting. Christina, did you have any favorite traditions growing up? Or now? At least?
Yeah, we growing up, we used to go to my aunt's house, and my my mom's side of the family was more traditional Chinese, and so it was I really enjoyed getting together with that side of the family because my aunt would cook a more traditional Chinese meal. And so I got to kind of experience that. And I know everyone's like family like recipes are always totally different, but I always appreciated doing our Chinese New Year lunch with her.
Hi, Kyle. Thank you so much. You did.
Bye.
Thank you so much. I was great teaching everyone, and I really appreciate the people who stepped up and really tried. So thank you for facilitating great things.
Thank you.
Kyle, take care, dude.
All right, see ya.
Sorry, Christina. Were you saying anything else?
Yeah, no, I was done.
That's super awesome. Yeah, like I'm sure it's very different throughout every family because two of my best friends, they're Chinese too, and they would talk about their different like traditions and like the way they eat the food, and whenever they like learn new things about each other's food, they were like, "What?" And then it makes sense because like China is so diverse and there's so many like different little things in like, every country in Asia too, and it's cool.
Do you have a particular recipe that you have? Do you have like a little special take on it or anything like that? I'm just kind of curious.
Me too.
You know, I never got to learn from my aunt. So I'm there's one recipe that I got to learn from her, and that's making sticky rice, which is really good. I didn't quite I don't know if I ever went through the whole process of doing like the tamale version, like the dong. And so like conceptually I know, but you know, conceptually in theory is totally different than actually doing it. But I could make a version of sticky rice. So yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. I know it's so hard. Like I'm trying to learn all these recipes from my grandma before like but like they don't have recipes. So it's like, what do you do? And
Yes.
the names for like the different ingredients, like I don't know what they are because they don't sell them at like American stores and I can't make them out here in Flow.
Yeah. Yeah. Take lots of photos.
Yeah.
It's crazy because you're so right. Like I know my grandmother like never writes anything down. It's like all in her head. I'm like, how do you know all
Yeah.
these things?
So I convinced my grandma to write them down, but like I can't read what half of it means because it's just like her mental notes that just
Yeah.
sent to her, and I'm like, I don't know. Like keep pouring. Like I don't know what it's supposed to taste like because you always
Yeah. Yeah, you just got to do it with her like frequently enough to where you start to get it.
I stayed at my grandma's house for 2 weeks to learn, but I did not learn enough because there's so many things I still need to do.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll see y'all in the breakout room. Thank you so much for having this discussion with me. It was so nice to learn everything about you all and your tradition.
Thank you so much for leading it. Really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thanks for facilitating.
Participating, that's even better.
Oh, I did. He's. Hi, Natalie. All right. We're getting everyone back. Okay. We have a couple rooms left that have not clicked out yet, but we'll just wait until they come back. Hello, everyone. Perfect. Okay. Well, I hope you all had a really good discussion and hopefully learned some more about each other. I just wanted to give space for everyone to share if they had anything to share about the discussion that they found interesting, or you can put it in the chat if you feel shy. I totally get it. But yes, if you wanted to share anything about something that you learned about each other, we would love to hear it. Yes. You can also unmute if you'd like to. Any brave souls?
Someone, Karina in my breakout room said that her family, or her mom, tells her family not to buy shoes like the first couple days of the new year, and also not to cut hair, like not to cut your hair, which I did not know that was a thing. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yes, the haircut. Wait, that's so real. My family does the exact same thing. You have to buy everything new before the Lunar New Year week because it's bad luck otherwise. Yes. I love that. Anyone else learn about some interesting taboos or things?
In my group, June shared how like the soup he would eat like 5 bowls every year so he can have like 5 more years of life. And I thought that was super cool, like the little like things that are connected to food and how just like, yes, that works. And of course, as a child, you're gonna do as much of that as you want because you want to live old and like beat everyone else. So that was pretty awesome.
That's so funny. I love that. That's awesome. Yes. Any fun foods other like on the topic of food? Any fun foods that y'all remember from your Lunar New Year celebrations that you particularly enjoy? For me, I literally just bought like a huge bag of the strawberry lucky candy from 99 Ranch. So good. The way I will pop those like all the time. But yes, that's my favorite memory.
For our discussion, I think a really cool shared experience we had was learning recipes from our grandmothers. What's really interesting was our grandmothers don't write down these recipes, so we have to like be in the kitchen and kind of learn from them. And I think that's so cool to kind of share that with everyone in my breakout room. Just learning from the pros for real. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my goodness. When no one has measurements and your grandmother's like, wait, why does it taste off? I'm like, you didn't give me anything. What am I supposed to do? I totally feel it. Yes. Classic ethnic cooking in general. Anyone else have anything? Oh, Jasmine, you are right. It is about the feeling. She said, that sounds like Ratatouille. Are you quoting? Anyone else want to share anything? No. Okay, no worries.
Oh, Amber said
Yes.
something in the chat.
Oh my gosh, Amber.
Like she said, I love that receiving money is common throughout all cultural celebrations. I also do love that. Because even though I didn't grow up celebrating Chinese New Year in my own family, like my family friends that are Chinese would still give me money, and I thought that was so cool and so fun. And I was like, oh, but yeah.
It's like your rent for the year is like all of the hong bao. It's so funny, yes. Oh my gosh. My grandmother is always threatening. She's like, once you become an adult, like you're not getting anymore. And I'm like, but wait, no. Yeah.
It's like technically once you get married, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes, so never get married. Although the grandmothers will be after you if you don't get married, so that's a whole other story. Oh, same, Tanya, same. Oof. It's rough out here. The Asian grandma is setting us up with people. Oh, not a move, not a move. Yes. Yeah.
We would always remind my oldest, she's not even the oldest cousin, she's the second oldest cousin, like, oh, like when grandma was your age, like this is what she was doing. And like 7 kids like that.
I love that. That's so funny. Awesome. Does anyone have anything else? Anything at all? Anything in general about Lunar New Year, or maybe even your culture, and how like Lunar New Year has played into like feeling proud about it or being able to share it with other people?
Kind of off topic, but like Koreans eat tteok, like rice cakes for New Year. But I don't like tteok at all. Like I don't understand the hype. It's like, okay, they have like rainbow tteok. I think Songpyeon is what it's called. I don't really know because I don't really like it. So but yeah, I never understood the hype. Yeah.
There's like a saying where like if you eat the duck that are like very long, it's for like longevity or something like that. Yeah.
I guess I'll live a very short life.
That's so funny. Oof. Oh my gosh, yes. Long life noodles, those longevity noodles at the end of the meal. Ooh, those hit different. Yes, definitely. We're here for a good time, not a long time. Yes. Oh my gosh, yes, the incense smell. Yeah. Are there any like fun traditions or things that y'all remember from previous Lunar New Year celebrations? Oh my gosh. Not cutting the noodles, Jasmine.
Oh, I don't know if this was for anyone else, but we weren't allowed to drop chopsticks. I just remembered that. We would get yelled at. I remember one time my like 5-year-old cousin, of course he's like 5, right? He dropped one of the chopsticks and my aunt had to like hide it and like pick it back up onto the table. We're like, she didn't see anything.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That's so funny.
Okay, I have a question. So one of my mom's friends like sent us these like pineapple like shortcake type of things. I was wondering if anyone knows what they are because I don't. But like what culture is that like commonly consumed? Yeah, pineapple cakes because they're really good. I didn't like pineapple, but I really liked that. So I was wondering if anyone knows. Oh, they're Taiwanese. They're
Yeah.
so good.
I worked at a boba shop and all of my bosses were Taiwanese and they would bring us like 6 boxes during Lunar New Year and we would all eat them in like one day. It was so bad, but they're so yummy.
Oh my goodness. Snack. Lillian, the spelling. um that's so funny. Okay, well, it is 5:29. So technically we are at the end of our Lunar New Year celebration. We wanted to thank you all so much for coming and for participating with us. We hope you had fun and learned something new about Lunar New Year and other people's celebrations. We appreciate you all. Thank you so much again to Epic and Dogali for presenting and for engaging with us. We've loved it. Yes.
Oh. Yes, thank you everyone for coming. It was so nice getting to know all of y'all and like thank you for participating. This was like amazing, especially because it's a Friday night and I'm sure all of y'all are tired of Zoom.
True.
Also, if you haven't already, you should follow at CalPolyMCC on Instagram or at CalPolyApita. We'll be posting more stuff coming up soon and having more events and things.
Sorry, really quickly before you all leave, I'm gonna send a evaluation in the chat or an assessment for y'all to give us feedback about this event. We are always trying to improve, and we know that this is so different from how it was in person. So if you could please share feedback with us, we would love to hear it so we can improve our events and all of it. We want Okimomo so bad, Olivia. Please. The crispy tofu, it hurts.
Wait, it didn't.
Yeah.
It's 5 times. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Not everyone has it. We will also be sending emails out to all of you. If you don't want to fill it out now, we're gonna send it in an email to all of the participants. So yes, I know. I don't know how to virtual Okimomo. We'll get all of your addresses. We'll send you all. Oh my gosh, Okimomo is so good.
You sound like a politician making like false claims right now. Okimomo.
It's so good. Yes. All right. Well, thank you everyone. I'm gonna play music until to fade us out.
We'll be here if you want to stick around for a little bit and chat, but otherwise,
Yeah.
feel free to
If
go.
y'all wanna vibe with us, we'll just hang.
We'll vibe.
Vibe for a sec.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you all.
So good with the vibes. Yeah.
What?
So good with the vibes.
I know. Oh, I love this playlist so much. There's other Apita artists on here, and it's
Jeremy Passion.
Jeremy Passion. Peep that lemonade.
Do you want to say something? I saw your mic go on and off.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah, yeah. Really quick, Lil, thank you for having giving Tongari the opportunity to just kind of come in and speak. This is really great. I'm kind of curious. Did we have this event in person like in the previous years? Yeah. We did? Oh. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's just not me then. All right, I'll make sure to follow the Instagram account. I'm gonna make sure. I love this type of event. I think it's a really great spot to, it's like a safe spot to share different cultures. I definitely learned a lot. I really appreciate it.
I'm so happy. Yeah, follow us, and we can also totally promote your club and pair with you as well and partner when we have Apita Heritage Month, which is in May, I believe. Yes, so we'll contact you again for more involvement. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
He was so sweet. He was in my group.
No.
He was so nice.
So nice.
He kept saying, "Thank you for doing this. Thank you for doing that." And I was like, "No, thank you."
I know, no, thank you. We were like, wait, we needed this.
Off the recording.
Oh, yeah.
No,